Why work for something when you can steal it? It's always been my philosophy.
Hello and welcome back to another episode of Adventures in Awful. I am your pal, J.Ishiro Finney, author and alien in a human suit. And this week we're going back to our roots. If you recall, the book that launched this show was Chelsea Cain's Man-Eaters, a book about a woman and her period.
You're really making me do this, aren't you?
Oh, and what is it that I'm making you do?
You're inflicting the rag on me.
Would you mean a rag as in a poorly written comic, or a rag in something that absorbs, fluids, to say, from a certain part of the body?
Both, and it's smelly too.
You nailed it. We're doing Man-Eaters too.
Okay, so let's get this started. Oh god, I'm just looking at the cover. Okay. Man-Eaters, issue number 2. And the cover greets us with this beautiful baby blue, dare we say boy blue cover with a lovely tampon with cute little cat ears and whiskers drawn on it. I would really love to know what Freud would think of this cover.
I'm super passionate about a woman on her menstrual cycle.
Next page, we get a photograph of a little girl, maybe about 6 years old, playing with her kitten on her bedspread. And it says, "She's your little princess today, but will she be a monster tomorrow?" 98% of adolescent females are infected with toxoplasmosis X. Symptoms of toxoplasmosis X includes vaginal bleeding, headache,
breast tenderness, constipation, diarrhea, bloating, abdominal cramping, backache,
rage against the patriarchy. Public warning, this comic may attract girls and women. Oh dear God. If you see a girl or a woman in your area, remain calm. Girls and women may lash out if provoked. Why doesn't this just say, if you see women in the area, throw a Hershey bar on the ground and run? They should be handing out, like, in case of cat attacks, use this, and it's just filled with Ben & Jerry's, Hershey bars, and romance novels.
I remember my mother would say that she loved her period because she just felt all these different emotions. She felt almost stronger to a point.
Oh dear God, that's frightening. Hello, toilet. Hello, sodium lauryl sulfate. Buenos dias, nail brush. ¿Cómo está hoy? And when I was going, oh dear God, that's frightening, is it's a close-up of the bath mat, and it is a cat head in which it looks like the cat is trying to eat the toilet. Hello, Dad's tiny mustache scissors. And then the very, very, very bottom panel is a close-up of her eyes, and it says, menstruation. Day 2. I've been spending a lot of time in the bathroom. Are you coming back to the table?
I said I'd be out in a minute. Jeez.
Nothing in life is to be feared. It is only to be understood. Marie Curie said that. Then she got cancer and died.
Hello, tampon.
And then the next page is an entire diagram of how exactly you insert a tampon. Great women in history who have had their periods. Boadicea, anti-imperialist Celtic rebel warrior queen, led uprising against the occupying forces of the Roman Empire. Tough as fuck. Joan of Arc, commanded French army as a teen. Cross-dressing goals. Saint. Probably had to deal with having her period while wearing armor and riding a horse. Queen Elizabeth II, British monarch, corgi enthusiast, refuses to retire, loves hats, and still married. Margaret Sanger, birth control advocate, nurse, sex educator, social reformer, opened the United States' first birth control clinic in 1916. Frida Kahlo. Okay, now, yes, she does have here that Frida Kahlo painted lots of self-portraits and was an activist, and is considered one of Mexico's greatest artists. Okay, but the fact that the number one thing that she posted was postcard icon was like, yeah, I have a unibrow, so what? Because, that's the most important thing about Frida. Yeah, she also seems to have forgotten the fact that Frida was constantly complaining about how her husband was beating her, and yet she kept going back to him. Hedy Lamarr, actress, studio-designated bombshell, inventor, self-taught tinkerer, credited with creating a frequency-hopping signal used in all wireless communications. Okay, I just have to say, I get really sick of feminists, because it's only feminists who do this, who have to cherry pick all these famous women who have done something with their lives and say, because this woman did something awesome, all women have done something awesome. No, you've done exactly jack shit with your life. You are not Hedy Lamarr. You are not Queen Elizabeth II. You are not these awesome people. You have no right to claim their accomplishments as your accomplishments. And it's only feminists who do this. Going so far as to pulling fucking Boadicea and Joan of Arc and say, wow, because these women achieved something, that proves that we all have achieved something. And apparently because these women achieved shit and had their periods, that means all women can achieve shit and still have their periods, according to Chelsea. Why isn't Margaret Thatcher on this list? Or Ayn Rand? Why aren't these women on here? Mata Hari, dancer, sex worker, entrepreneur, single mother, World War I spy, and cultural agitator, fabulist. Often appeared on stage in nude body stocking. Sojourner Truth, abolitionist, women's rights activist. Born into slavery, escaped with infant daughter to freedom in 1862. Homeowner. Campaigned against slavery, for women's rights, prison reform, temperance, and against the death penalty. She was also out of her fucking gourd. She thought that God was talking to her. Literally, she heard voices constantly. Voices telling her what to do. Sometimes not for the benefit of the people who she was around. So anyway, that is
great women in history who have had their periods. So, everything okay?
I can feel my uterus.
I can feel my uterus leaking out of my vagina. Who writes this shit? Oh my god.
Our bodies undergo some intricate and wonderful changes. As a result of these changes, this is called menstruation.
Any good YouTube videos going around? Want to talk about Riverdale? Betty? Jughead? I mean, what's up with that?
Stop interrogating me! Yes, okay, I admit it. I used your mustache scissors to trim my pubic hair, okay? Are you happy? Get off my back!
You gotta feel the body, make sure you're, don't get lost in the hair. You can't hardly see the body parts here.
Do we really have to throw in a shaved pussy moment too? On a child, no less. Oh my god. Dad looks like he's just been hit by a smelly, period-ridden fish.
When you're seeing her blood, when you're feeling her blood, when you're smelling her blood, when you're tasting her blood.
I don't know if I'm gonna be able to get through this. I'm laughing too much. I'm actually tearing.
You're probably thinking, wait, she has pubic hair? Yes I do. And it's unruly, Dad. It requires maintenance. So that's what I was doing in the bathroom just now.
Please tell me if any of you have ever had that conversation with your father. I would like to know.
You don't have to feel awkward or ashamed. I've been anticipating this conversation for a while now.
I want to know why he's been anticipating his daughter using his clippers to shave her pubes. What sick pervert is anticipating that specific conversation with their daughter? When my parents were married, my dad had this face he used to make. I called it his bad idea face. My mom called it something else. By the way, I'm skipping pages on this because there's really no reason to read it. Because it's just panels of them staring at nothing saying, hey, maybe we should turn off the lights. Yeah, we should do that because the thing is over there. Okay, so let's turn off the lights. Hey, I think I heard it over there. And so they turn off the lights. They're standing in the dark wanking. And while they're waiting for the plot to resume, the narration again says, my first cat was Marmalade. She'd come through my window at night and curl up in my bed. Once she bought me a tiny brown mouse. It looked like it was sleeping. And she says that when we see, of course, a corpse. And then they're attacked. Marmalade disappeared around the time my parents got divorced. Cat sensed stress, they say. I guess she'd had enough. I blame myself. My cat had made me an offering and I had rejected it. Later my dad got me a kitten, a sweet little ball of fur, and I had made myself a promise. Next time I'd accept that mouse. Oh. Okay, I just got to the very last page and you have that blue and it simply says the word period. I'm shocked it's not red. Well, going into this one, I had an idea of what I was getting into. No, it was not as crazy as the first one, but I think the first one is because they had to really jam a lot of craziness into a short amount of time. I'm a little disturbed by the pedo shit in this. Buy, borrow, or burn. Again, issue 1s, you usually have to cram a lot of crap into it, but usually issue 2 is when the story really picks up. There's really not much in here. I mean, okay, what did we get from issue 1? We established that people are being attacked by cats. We established that period be bad. And we established that Maud got her period. Okay, book 2. What did we establish? Maud got her period, she's hiding it, and her parents are investigating the murder from the first book. That all could be summed up probably about half the amount of pages, which means that there's a lot of empty space. In fact, there's pages I just skipped. This issue is a whole lot of nothing. It does not further the plot much. So actually, I'm going to say burn because it's not necessary. What did this teach me about Chelsea's brain? It taught me that she's got issues with her pubic hair as well as with her tampons. In fact, I think she has problems with that part of the body in general. Do I think her dad talked to her about trimming pubic hair? I don't doubt that she used his clippers to trim her pubic hair and she was caught doing it. I wouldn't doubt it if she indeed did that and got in trouble and has been butthurt about it ever since. What do I think this teaches us about Chelsea's mom issues? Mom was a strong, independent woman who don't need no man and definitely don't need no child baggage weighing down her career. So mom really wasn't around that much. The fact that mom was so much not a character, but dad is a character, yeah, tells me that she doesn't want to say anything bad about her mom because she probably doesn't know much about her mom.
Going to the store and getting pads for her, but I was so in love with this woman that I actually kept one of her blood-soiled period pads. Like, I kept it for about 1.5 years after we dated.
Why would something